Okay, in this video, we're talking about the 10 laziest things in this game that need to be fixed in the next update. 10 things that could make this game pretty much better, the overall experience, until they make the Xenoverse 3 game. So, without being said, let's just go into the top 10, my top 10 things that need to be fixed that are currently lazy. Now, number 10, we're going into slots, character slots.
Of course.
I think this is something a lot of people really complain about early on in this game. I think within a year, a lot of people complained that there weren't enough slots.
Of course.
Now, if you look at the slots, they're the same number of characters that are in this game. What? Earthlings, the Saiyans, from both genders, Frieza race, Namekian, and the Majins, male and female. That's how many slots are in this game. So pretty much you have no other slots to make any other kind of character except for one race, one slot per character, which is kind of, kind of cheap.
Of course.
And I think about slots, I think about games like DCU Universe Online, where you were able to purchase extra slots. That way you can make different builds, because this game does allow you to make different types of builds. And I don't think you should be restricted to changing one character to a different build when you can just make a brand new build. So they really need to upgrade this in a next free update. I think this is something that's easy to do. I think people have complained about it, but I haven't heard anyone mention it in a video, so that's why I'm bringing it up. All right, number 9 is going to be the next thing that you see after you pick your character, and that is being the ability to skip the story. So you have the ability to skip the entire story mode. If you want to just play PvP, you should be able to do so. I don't think you should have to replay the whole story, including the flight school and having to go all over the different parts of the game to talk to the time patroller so that you can continue the story forward. I think even the online part where you have to beat Frieza and Cooler to be able to go online, I think that is just like really unnecessary at that point when you already beat the game.
Of course.
And it makes me think again of DCU Online. Once you play the intro of the game, you are able to skip that intro and go straight into the actual part of the game where everything counts. So they need to have a part in the game for that, because it's just boring to just replay the whole story when all you want to do is just make a new character. Like, it's not really that hard to do. It's something that'll take less than a minute. And I've seen a lot of mods that's being done in this game, and this doesn't require mods, so there's no excuse for them to not be able to let you skip this part of the story, because it's boring. If the story was better, it would be playable, or if you get rewards, it would make sense, but you don't get anything out of replaying the story mode. So there's no point of replaying it when you just want to make a new character for a build. Or they can have a separate option where you can actually play a mode where you can just start a build and you don't even have to play a story because you already played it. They already let you be able to play multiple CACs in a game, and you do parallel quests. So this should be very easy for them to able to implement into this game. There's no excuses. You don't need any mods to do this. All you need is a skip feature, and that should be in the next update without question, because I've seen a lot of people tired of having to redo the story mode just to play a new character. It's boring, and it's just too much time it takes out of your day to do that, and it's just completely unnecessary. This is the sequel, so Dimps, y'all need to get on board with this, because a lot of people actually want this. So let's go on to number 8. Number 8 is kind of hit or miss. For me, it's the leveling system, where you go to see the little Namekian, where he levels you up to whatever levels you want. I think that it's not done right. It takes too much time where you have to press it over and over again for a level. I think they need to fix it to where you can pick the level that you want, so you don't have to continuously press the X button to give you how many levels you want. They should have an option where if you want to just skip to go to level 100, you should be able to do so. Now, if they want to make that with currency, then fine, make it with currency. And the only reason I say that is because once you get to level 85, you have to use TP medals to advance. And the reason I want to say that they should make it a feature where you have to pay for it, maybe like $5.99 to go to level 100, because DCU Online actually does this. If you want to go straight to level 30 to the end game, they are able to let you do that if you pay like a monthly subscription where you can get tokens that allow you to go straight to level 30. So you don't have to waste time going through the story, because that game is usually for PvP as well. And most people just want to make new builds in that game And for you to be able to compete with the other builds, you have to at least be level 30 and go beyond that level 30 to go on to the higher levels for you to play online against other players. So they need to fix the leveling system right here. Kind of late. It's just kind of lazy, and it's just too time consuming for you to have to keep pressing a button over and over. I just think because it's a sequel that it should be a lot better than what it is now. So that's number 8. It's a little, picky, but I think a lot of people actually want this to be updated. So, and it doesn't take much time to do. So Dimps, get on this. It's real easy to do. And with that being said, let's go on to number 7. Now for me, number 7 is going to be a character perk. That character is for CAC race, and that race is the male Majins. I think the male Majins are done pretty lazy. I think that when you get down to 2 bars of stamina and they lose so much health, I think that is completely broken and it needs to be fixed. You're always going to have 2 bars of stamina no matter what race you play with. So I don't think it's fair that male Majins have to suffer the consequences because they have 2 bars of stamina. There weren't anything that hurts the other characters really too much except for damage and speed. But to do it to like their stamina, I think is just completely lazy. At least make it to where when you break their stamina, then they lose health at a massive rate. But don't penalize us for wanting to play with Majins, and just because we have 2 bars that they just lose so much energy with ease with any kind of attack, and that just makes them completely unplayable. Because a lot of male Majins are not usable because of this stamina issue. It's been asked, I think, since the first game. But the first game, the physics were a little bit different. It was a little bit more slower, and the Majins were a little bit more tanky. So it was it made sense. It applied for Xenoverse 1. But with this new system, with the way this game's played, it doesn't make sense to level them to that point to where they're just completely unplayable, and it just doesn't make you want to use them. So yeah, they need to fix this. I think it's the only character race in the game that needs to be fixed. And without being said, we're gonna go on to number 6. Now number 6 is auras. The fact that aura slots is tied to CC mascots is just one thing that doesn't make sense. Is terrible on its own. But what else they need to fix is the actual bug. Like when you actually activate the aura, when you actually go into a flight, the aura no longer stays inside that actual aura that you selected. So see, like I have Super Saiyan 2 right here. I activate Super Saiyan 2, but once I go in the air, it does not stay in that aura. It goes into like the glitch or aura that you already have on your preset. I think it looks just kind of lazy. I don't know why they did this. It makes me think that they didn't want to put this in the game, and they were probably forced by Bandai, and they just say, you know what, I'm tired of you asking for it, so they just put it in. And to show how much they didn't really care about it, they didn't even change the animation for when you're in flight. I just think as a Dragon Ball fan, if you actually love Dragon Ball, you're not gonna do things like this. And it makes me question if Dimps really even are fans of this franchise, because I see a lot of modders that are actually fans. They actually perfect all these type of things in the game. So I don't know why they would just be so lazy with this. It just seems like it's purposely done because all the other things they wanted to be done in this game are actually somewhat completed. It's just kind of lazy, and it's just annoying. It's not a huge thing, but I think it is when you actually go into putting in work to actually grind to get these auras, and then to see that they're not even like fully being implemented correctly. To me, it's like going to like McDonald's and you asking for French fries, and then you get your order, and then you see that you get a bag of French fries, but they haven't been dipped into oil to cook them. It's just like they just said, here you go. You wanted auras, here you go, but they didn't actually have to make them correctly. They need to fix this. This is not that hard to fix. Modders do it easy. It takes, again, less than 1 minute to do, and they need to fix this because it's completely lazy, and it makes me question if Dimps is even capable of making Xenoverse 3. So Dimps, if you're watching this, get on board, fix the damn auras immediately. And with that being said, we're gonna move on to number 5. Now, number 5 is accessory slots. Let us have the ability to equip multiple accessory slots. I think because this is a sequel, I expected more out of this accessory slot. Is pretty much the same accessories from the Xenoverse 1, and I think that just doesn't make sense because it's a sequel. And especially it doesn't make sense because they make so many accessories, from hats, from different masks, different wigs, different backpacks, weapons, things like that. They all fit different parts of the body. And when I think of accessories, I think of Dragon Ball Online. Pretty much where this game is got its inspiration from. And in that game, you're able to equip multiple accessories onto your body. They make a accessory for anniversary accessory, a hat and a balloon accessory for the anniversary of Xenoverse 2. So why am I not able to equip both of them? You know, why make both of them when you only have one? It's just straight up laziness. There's no excuse for why you're not able to equip more than one accessory when you see modders do this for on PZ version. Like, to me, it's just laziness. It's just they just don't care to do it, and it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand why you have to ask them to do simple things. Like, these are things that don't even take much time to do. It's like all you have to do is just put it in, make it where you can maybe pick the 3 that you want, or have a preset accessories items where you can it'll come with 3 different selections that you can purchase. You know, there's just so many ways that they could do this. You know, it's a 10-year-old game, so I don't understand how a sequel is supposed to be better than the first game, and they don't even upgrade every single thing. And it makes me think of, like, when I went to school with a friend to do a science project, and my friend will both have parts of the science project. Like, I'll do the most important parts, and then all he has to do is a little parts, and when he refuses to do it, and it's like, come on, this doesn't take much time to do. They need to fix this. And with that being said, we're gonna move on to number 4. Now, number 4 is the TP metal shops. The TP metal shops, they need to fix this. They need to fix the fact that you have to wait a certain amount of time to get certain things, mainly with the SP, the star coin TP metal shop. I don't like how you cannot find a lot of the auras that are available because they haven't put them in the store. I've literally waited, I think, since the last time I played this game 2 years ago up till now, I have not seen the auras that I wanted. They need to have every single accessory that's there in the game. Just be a little bit more creative, but they just need to have more things in the shop that's not there. Same with the clothes. Like, I still haven't seen the Namekian Piccolo coin customization outfit, and like since like the first time they had this game. Also, the Paragus outfit, where is that at? Like, there's a lot of things that they didn't put in the store, maybe like one time, and that was it. Like, they need to really just put everything in the store, so you don't have to wait. It doesn't make sense for you to have to keep waiting different times, and especially if they don't actually put the stuff that hasn't been in for a long time. So TV metal shots, they need to fix that. And with that being said, let's go on to number 3. Now, number 3 is Saiyan Tails. Of course, they need to actually put this in the game to make it permanent, because it's already in the game. They already had the Tails first from Xenoverse 1 with Super Saiyan 4. That Tails already in the game. There's no excuse behind that to not have this in the game. It's been asked since the first game. They literally could just put this as a wish in the Dragon Balls. When you wish for the Dragon Balls, you can ask him to wish for a Saiyan tail. There's no excuse for that. Of course. And what I find annoying about it is that they actually put a Saiyan tail in the game, but they put a crooked Saiyan tail that looked like the Devil's tail.
Is this a joke?
What is that?
Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. It looks like, when you look at the Saiyan tails, it makes me think of when I was a kid and I got into a fight with my cousin, and after we got into a fight, my aunt told my little cousin to make up with him, to give him one of your toys to play with. You know, this is when we were like 5 and 6, and my cousin actually gave me his toy, but when he gave me the toy, it had nothing but slob all over it, and I still bring that up to him to this day. And you know, it just, at the time, you know, he was angry at me, and that's how I look at the Saiyan Tails. I look at it like they just put the Saiyan Tails in the game, and they was probably pressured by Bandai to do it, and they probably just so annoyed that they didn't want to do it. So they just say, you know what, fine, we'll give you a Saiyan Tail, but they just threw it in there and they just made it crooked.
What is that?
Like, there's just no reason for that. And to add insult to injury, later on in the DLCs, I think it was with Ribian, we got the Kunkunsa tail. It's literally the same way that we wanted the Saiyan tails to be, but it's blue.
Is this a joke?
So why wouldn't they just edit the actual Saiyan tail that's crooked and make it like the Kunkunsa tail? I want to know why someone thinks that in the comment sections, because I think that they hate the fan base. I honestly feel like they just don't want to do things that we want all the time, because I feel like if you're a true fan of Dragon Ball, you're gonna just give the fans things like that. You want to show to them that we're actually fans, that we down with y'all, that we love the series just like y'all, so we're gonna fix the tail. But they didn't do that. And I'm starting to think, if I want the guys that actually made Kakarot, those guys that made that game, to make Xenoverse 3, I don't think I want them to make Xenoverse 3, because it seems like they just keep doing stuff like this, and it's just annoying because it's simple things. It's nothing like the graphics or the gameplay. It's simple things, and it just annoys me when people cannot do simple things like this. So this is unexcusable. I know this has been asked like probably a million times. Can you fix the damn tails, or actually put Saiyan tails in the game? Because then the last tail that we got for the Saiyans was the giant outfit. The giant outfit comes with the truest looking Saiyan tail I've ever seen, with the hair, that's the problem. It comes with Giant's hair. It doesn't come with the tail by itself. And to me, that's just a little like a more like slap in the face. It's just, to me, why would you just put the tail by itself, the Giant tail, on its own? Why do we need to have Giant's wig when we already have our wig in the game? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. The tail is in the game now. It's tied off the jail outfit. Make the tail separate. What is the issue? Why can't you do it? I see other companies do things that fans ask them to do. Why does it seem like it's annoying for us to ask you to do things for a game that we play? What is the disconnect here? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. From a developer standpoint, how can you just like feel annoyed to do things that for fans that you want to entertain with your game? It doesn't make sense. It's just again another lazy thing that Dims has done. It just comes off an unplayer friendly, and I question if I actually want them to make Xenoverse 3. And with that being said, let's go on to number 2. Now, number 2 is probably the most requested thing that they wanted to fix in this game. The most requested feature that they wanted in this game since Xenoverse 1. And that is Super Saiyan 1 and 2 hair spike. Of course! And as you see it on the screen, you see this hairstyle. I forget which number it is, but when this hairstyle goes Super Saiyan, it needs to look like that. That hairstyle, that trunk hairstyle. Now that Trunks hairstyle is actually a hairstyle already in the hair already. It's already in the game for CACs. So why can't they, when you just go Super Saiyan with this hairstyle, it turns into that hairstyle? What is so hard for them to do that? They do it with Goku's hairstyle. When his hairstyle is his regular base, it changes into Super Saiyan spiked 1 every time. They can literally do the same thing with this hairstyle, but for some reason they haven't done it. And yeah, I know people gonna say, oh, it's too hard to do. It's like, I need you guys to stop really just like giving them an excuse to not do things that's modders have been able to do with ease. I haven't heard any modders complain about doing this, and a lot of these modders don't even have full projects like this. They're just editing the game. You see people do it in the game that we play. We have a lot of modders that have hair spike in the game that we play using mods. So there's no excuse. If you can make the hair go from Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 3, there's no excuse. They just have to input the code. That's all they have to do. And if you're a real Dragon Ball fan, I don't know how you can be okay with the Super Saiyan Trunks. Well, his regular straight hairstyle that looks like Android 17. I don't know how you're a Dragon Ball fan, or you can call yourself a Dragon Ball fan, and when you go Super Saiyan, you don't even let the hair spike. I don't understand how you can convince me that you're a Dragon Ball fan and you do that, because I'm going to look at you sideways. Of course. And I'm going to look at you like something's wrong with you. And I'm not going to believe anything you tell me, because there's nobody that draws Super Saiyan as a kid or even to this day that when you make your custom Saiyan and you make them go Super Saiyan, you're not making their hair straight like Bulma. You're not doing all of that. It's literally simple. That's the frustrating thing about this, is we're talking about things that are simple to do. It doesn't make any sense if you are a Dragon Ball fan to allow this game to continue to look like this. It's just completely lazy, which is the title of this video. Lazy features in this game that need to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed in an update. It's not that hard. And also, I'm going to tie number 2 with hairstyle wigs. The wigs need to become styles for hair for Saiyans. All right. Now they don't have to put all of them as hairstyles, but they need to put some of them, like Goku's wig. That needs to be a hairstyle for Saiyans only, not Earthlings. Maybe the Zamasu wig, the white one, make that a Saiyan only hairstyle, not for Earthlings, because that will also like separate the difference between Earthlings and Saiyans, because they pretty much look the same, have the same hairstyles, and all they do is just fight different. That's it. Same look, and they're not the same race, so they need to put the actual hairstyles in the game to make it, you know, look like a Saiyan. Yajirobe's hairstyle, like what is about making Yajirobe's hairstyle turn gold? Because the only hairstyle that actually turns gold with a wig and is actually in the game is the launch wig. Like a lot of people might not know this, but if you equip the launch wig and you go Super Saiyan, the wig actually turns blonde, and that's a nod to Launch. And when she has her transformations, whenever she sneezes, she'll go into like the combative version. They already had a wig do that. So why are you gonna make only that wig do it, but not the Yajirobe wig? You know, like, come on, man. Like, this just lazy again. It's just complete lazy. And I don't know how at this point anyone could back up Dimps as a respectable company that you want to make your games. There's no way you can defend Dimps anymore. If you care about Dimps, that's fine, but you can't. I don't feel like you can care about Dragon Ball the franchise and Dimps, because Dimps, it seems like they just don't care like we care. We care more than them, and that should not be the issue. It should be the other way around. So they have a chance to update this now, and especially if this game is going to go on for another 5 years. This game's been out 10 years. There's no excuse for it. They need to update it, and they need to do it now. That's probably the most wanted feature in this game. But we're going to go into number one. And number one, I think, is just the obvious. And the number one feature, lazy feature they need to fix in this game is banning the goddamn modders.
Of course!
There's so many damn modders in this game. A lot of these modders are just using all kind of ways now to win and play in this game and cheat. And some of these modders want to pretend like they're not using modders. Is at a point a lot of these modders don't think you understand how this game is played or understand what you're looking at. There's a lot of modifiers in this game. A lot of characters using speed modifiers where they can easily react to a basic attack very quickly and just strike into with speed with no issues without a super soul to do so. And it's annoying. They need to do it. Also with all the bugs that's in the game when you fight online. Like sometimes you're halfway on the other side of the screen when you do a combo. The netcode is still janky. You still dropping with combos. Sometimes you're halfway through the screen. There's still a lot of bugs in this And I think the first one is combos just continuously decide to want to drop. And then you have that stupid infinite trunks grab where you can just break their stamina up at the air and you can't vanish. Like things like that is just like completely lazy. It's like, why are you not fixing these things? We like to bash Sparking Zero a lot of times, and I think that if we're gonna bash games, we need to be fair to all games. We need to bash Xenoverse, Dimps. We need to bash them for the laziness that they have also made with this game, and they need to actually redeem themselves and actually fix these things. And that's why I made this video. So if you like this video, I appreciate before you go to hit a like. And if you aren't subscribed, subscribe to your boy to get the latest videos on content on Xenoverse 2 and other games. Also, I'm going to be starting another channel, a new channel. It's going to just be about everyday life, you know, music, pop culture, politics, things like that. So stay tuned and look out for that. So without that being said, appreciate y'all for watching the video, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Deuces. Peace out.
Come on, push the button. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.